right. Good evening, traders. Let's do a brief sound and visual check while I get a few things set up on my end. How's everybody? Tuesday's price action. How did you guys do today? Did you trade? Did you trade during the holiday? Audio visual looks good. Now, if there is buffering, just refresh your browser. Hopefully it's done and taken care of. Sounds good. All right. Here we go. Long day. It's a holiday. Holiday's over with now, right? Tuesdays on with the rest of the week. Looks good. Sounds good. Are you trading now? Yes, we are slow markets. If there is a trade set up, I will place it. A little bit pissed off at the Nikkei tonight. I'll go over why. If you guys follow me closely, you know exactly why I'm upset with the Nikkei. I was in a trade last night on the Nikkei, and I waited. I sat in it all night. It was a 12-hour trade. I was in the Nikkei for 12 hours, and it moved like 10 ticks. And tonight, it went straight to my take profit. We'll go over it. We'll go over that. Let's see what's the Nikkei doing right now. Yeah, look at this. Look at the Nikkei. You guys know what I was looking at, and you guys seen what I was talking about last night. That's the thing about the markets. Sometimes it's you get everything correct, but a little off on timing. I did make money on it, don't get me wrong, but look at this. I was talking last night. I posted it on Twitter of this trade I had going. 12 hours, man. 12 hours. It was a miserable trade in terms of talking about exhaustion, right? Mentally, physically watching it. I got in last night during slow markets, which is about right now, right? So I got in, let's say right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours. I closed it during the New York session. So 13 hours, and it went flat, right? Just sideways, whole lot of nothing. And then finally tonight, just straight up, kind of something I was looking at. Yeah, last time the Nikkei has not really consolidated like that. It was a holiday, so that's understandable. But it's been a while since I've seen the Nikkei go sideways for that long. There's probably a reason, is because it was that holiday. But yeah, the thing is, it worked out at the end, right? Tonight, the first hour, the Nikkei just jumped up, and here we are, up and away. If we look at the 100 tick chart, this is kind of what I was basing everything off of. A very simple, straightforward. You guys, if you missed it last night during slow markets, I talked about it, where we are in a uptrend, like intermediate, right? The immediate, where this is going off. This is starting to rally. And we had this nice pullback. This pullback was at an area of support and resistance. You can see this has been resistance. We broke out. We pulled back. Then I was looking for this resistance to become support, and it did, right? It just took too long for it to play out. That's the reality of trading. It could be a great trade, and if you do not have the time, or if it doesn't move in the time that you have planned for, then it's just a scratch or break even or a little loss. Anyway, let's get to it. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. I'm Coach Dakota. As always, there's our Top Step risk disclosure in the YouTube chat. And we all know this is not a signals class. Regardless of how much you want to fade or follow or whatever your intentions are, you must follow your own process. If that is your process, good luck. I see it play out all the time, where I see someone in the chat just trolling away, saying, let's fade, and then if that's your process, good luck. All right, because if I'm not around, or if I'm on vacation, or if for whatever reason, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be SOL, right? You're gonna be out of luck if your process depends on another individual trading basically for you, right? Regardless of its fade or follow. Anyway, I think tonight we're going to see a lot of slow price action. And I'm going to be open up to kind of a kind of like AMA, Ask Me Anything tonight. And then we'll go over some strategies, some technical analysis. So you could see, today's price action and tonight, or the New York's price action, which was Monday's, is going to be kind of merged into tonight's, which is tonight's price actions Tuesday. And you could see here on the daily chart, look at this on the NASDAQ. That's a doji, right? That's a doji. Nice rally up and then stopped. Holiday can skew some of the data. And the next thing we must ask ourselves is, are we going to be seeing all-time highs? Are we going to be seeing all-time highs here in the NASDAQ? We're just 200 points. We're not very far off. We could see that tomorrow. We could see a 1% move tomorrow. That is easy, right? That is very, very easy to see with the way that the NASDAQ moves. And I would not be surprised, to be honest. Let's zoom into the hourly chart. Hourly, kind of, it is a holiday. We've seen some pullback. We was looking at December's price action. This is December's price action. I was kind of looking for a little bit of resistance here, and I think we're seeing that. What is this? Like the mid to upper 200s, and we are seeing that. We did see that already. This is the basically mid to upper 200s, right? If we just zoom out and we could look at that and we kind of extend it forward, that we were seeing back in December. Yeah, basically that's the resistance area. We could even do a 4-hour chart so it looks a lot cleaner. So that was the first area. We did pull back off of it. We pulled back to basically 200, and funny enough, look at that. We pulled back right to that level back in December, right? This was resistance. It became support. We bounced right off of it. We're getting right back into this zone. And next level next level that looks reasonable is going to be up here around these upper 300s. Up here in these upper 300s. The reason why, right? Some resistance. There was some support here on the 16th, resistance on the 17th, and some resistance on the 18th. So if we can break back into this range, maybe we could see these upper 200s play out. Maybe we see it play out tonight, and maybe even during the London session. And then the New York session, I'd like to see us make a run for these upper 300s, and then maybe, just maybe come up and start to test and try and make an all-time high. That is my game plan for tonight. That's my game plan for tomorrow. And then on the opposite end, if we do break down, then the first area I'm going to be watching for is going to be these 150s, 160s, this zone. If we end up, starting to sell off, and we could break through what we've seen on the price action during the holiday, that's what I'm looking at. Now let's zoom into a 5-minute chart, because I am seeing something happen as I speak, right? Looking at this, come on, let's draw this out. This is looking bullish. We are breaking through. Is this wanting to get into a trade right now? I think we can. I think this market could rally. I'm not going to be surprised if we continue to push tonight. We just broke out of this downtrend, right? This little trend line right here to the downside on the 5 minutes. Let's see, where did we closed? We closed there. We gapped it down, and that's basically where it was. We closed early. It was a short day. It was a holiday. We opened up again tonight at 5 p.m. Central, which is 2224-ish, wherever that is, that line. And we are above that. New York, or we can't, do I say the New York session high? The session high for this, 270s, 280s. This is looking pretty bullish to me. I don't know. It's be interesting to see how this one plays out. That is tempting to buy it. Very tempting to buy it. That's about where we were This is where we were last night, right? Yeah, this is where we were last night, going up and a breakout. You could even argue, look at this, support and resistance here at this 200. Can you make an argument for a double bottom? Can you make an argument for a double bottom that we just had a double bottom tonight? We're seeing better price action tonight than what we were seeing during the holiday, right? I mean, this was the New York session right here, basically New York session, and we're already seeing just as much, if not more, volatility tonight. To be honest, it's interesting. I've been pulling up the ATR relatively often, talking about volatility. It's not something I use as an indicator to trade with, right? I've been talking about this for a very long time. If we look at ATR, this was the ATR today during the New York time, and then this is the ATR tonight, where, I mean, it's pretty dang close. And then we look at comparison to what we typically will see, and look how small. I talked about this during the fast markets today. This very, very small in terms of volatility. Look how small. 8, 10, 9 points per every 5 minutes. But that's compared to what we're used to. Up to the 20s, even higher during the New York session. So very low volatility. Reduce your expectations when in a trade. Maybe you're used to making 20 points, trying to get 20 points out of this type of a market today during the holiday, and then tonight it could be very unrealistic if you're used to it. So reduce those expectations. I mean, if you catch 20 points, be happy with it, with the way that this market is. Do you need sleep? I got plenty of sleep, to be honest. I actually got 7 hours of sleep last night. I took a nap. I took a nap. I tell you what, the nap today I had at noon for me, that was much needed. Took a nap after I went and got a massage. But then I went boxing, and boxing always wears me out. Great trading today so far. So this was from the New York session. This is not for tonight. Remember, P&Ls are rolled over. Nope, not going to entertain some of those questions. I'm not seeing much. We could talk about gold. Let's take a look at gold first. Traders are looking at gold. Zero. Nope, not entertaining any of those. Come on. Let's keep it PG. You don't have to pay for that stuff. Let's go to an hourly chart on gold. And last night, where were we last night? This is an hourly chart on, no, this is hourly chart on the NASDAQ. We want gold. I'm not denying it. What is there to deny? All right, let's change the conversation. It is nighttime where we're at. This is slow markets. It's charts at night. This is not. We still need to keep this professional. What do we think about gold here? Gold kind of just flatlined today as well. I mean, it's hard not to be bullish on gold, just because we've been in such a bullish trend, obviously by the dip, and we've seen kind of a double top right here. It's just under $3,000, right? Just under $3,000. If we look at this, can this be a double bottom? Maybe. I don't know what to make of this. Is this, some traders might look at this and say, yeah, we had to move down. This is just a pullback, and then maybe we see some type of continuation down. Some traders might look at it like that. It's hard. I would much rather be patient, wait. Let's just see what happens in gold. Let's see if we see either market structure either to the downside, or we start to see a higher low. I want to see better market structure before, being, in a trade on gold. I know Coach Jay was in a trade during the New York session. Maybe we wait to see if we could break through these 29.18s, 29.19s in order to see a continuation back up. But yeah, I'm going to pass on gold. It's hard to trade right now. It's been buy the dip, but this is a lot different, right? This is a lot different. I will say this. Usually near tops and bottoms, you see more volatility. And that's just in general, right? It's a general rule of thumb. Am I saying that this is going to be it? You just don't know. But typically near temporary tops and bottoms, you see more volatility, and we just seen that here. And maybe we could pull up an ATR again, and let's take a look. Yeah, I'm still not convinced. Right? Yeah, it's just so hard. I mean, there's nothing really telling on the indicator. And so this is a tough one. I would hate to be long gold right now. This is a 1 hour. Well, let's zoom out to the daily. I would expect a pullback or more consolidation. You know what we could do? Average true moves, right? When we do pullback in gold, how far are these pullbacks? How far have these pullbacks been when we get them in gold, right? So maybe we could do something like that and say if we get a pullback, it depends on how do you measure a pullback? How far would we expect gold to get to? What would we consider a pullback? Invert the price scale. Invert it. I just want to measure this real fast. These bigger moves. I want to see if we were going to pull back on gold, about how far of a pullback could we see? This isn't a daily chart, right? So maybe we could wait to see if gold can pull back closer towards these 2840s. Is that that might be a lot more reasonable for a deeper pullback. I know we're at 2906 and everybody, trust me, everybody's looking at 3000. It's not just us. It's just not me. It's just not everybody here in chat or TopstepTV. Everybody who trades gold's probably thinking of 3000, right? But if we're looking for an average pullback, yeah, I could see 2840s, maybe the mid 2800s for a pullback. Now, yeah, that's hard to say, to be honest. So if we get a pullback, I would look for it to be a little bit deeper before I get interested in again. Maybe we have a retest, and it's kind of funny how that kind of aligns with where we broke out, right? That kind of aligns with where we broke out, 2850s, 2840s. We'll see. There's not really much to trade for me, just the way that I view the market. Maybe there's some smaller scalps to be had. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, I still have a hard time being long on crude. I know the house account during fast markets got long crude. I have a hard time. I do see it's more realistic to be long down here rather than it is like, yeah, if you're going to get long, this might be the area to get long. But I still do believe that if we continue this trend and this sell-off, we have a decent chance to get to these $65 a barrel, and maybe even bare minimum we come back down and test, maybe you see $70 a barrel. It's hard to be long crude oil. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Same. Oh, is this a short opportunity in crude? Is this a sell the rally, right? This is an hourly chart. Do we sell this rally? It sure is tempting, right? It sure is tempting to short this. Let's see. Let me see, actually. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I would be okay with shorting this. We could throw in. I didn't reset this account yet, Yesterday I was saying I want to reset this and do the trades in this combine so we could review them. This would be a trade. Let's just do this. Let's do this, everybody. This would be a slow markets trade. It would. I would be willing to get into a short here. Risk there. Remember, this is I did the risk disclosure. This is just for education. And this would be a legit trade that I would be okay with in this demo account. And take profit probably it'd be something like this. Yeah, this would be about where I'm looking at. Maybe a little bit. Something like this. That would be the trade. I'm going to leave this. Let's leave this trade running in this account. I do plan to reset it, but I really wish I did it today. So that way, this would be one of the data points in this account. You know what? Let me see. Let me see if... yeah. Andrew... hold on one moment. Yeah, this is definitely a trade I like. This would be the first trade in this combine that we could keep track. Oh, well, we'll see this play. We'll see this one play out. We'll see if it plays out. If it's a loser, that's okay. Why reset? Because I can't pass a combine because I have a live account, and this is just a coach's account, right? This is coaches. We call this slow markets. And it's for education. It's like a whiteboard. It's a whiteboard account, kind of, where I could just place trades and just it doesn't really matter the results. And that's what it's for. Nikkei finally gave up the move. Yeah, we'll review Nikkei in a moment. So, yeah, this is the trade. If I reset this account, this would be the first trade in this account as a pure example. Let's move. Let's take a look at Nikkei again, because Nikkei is the one I'm interested in. Let's go to 100 tick. We are getting a little bit of a pullback, huh? It finally gave up that move. I know it did. You know, let's take a look. White. This is actually looking like a good trade, right? Where let me explain this a little bit more. It's harder on the 100 tick. Let me see if, because I don't want to zoom too far out. So you see how we broke through this, right? We broke through everything. There was some resistance right here. We broke all the way up to what? 39,400s. This is a decent pullback. So the question is this a pullback to test this area of support? Is this a pullback to test this area of support? Is this going to be a zone to support and then find a long off of it? Or is this just a rally to sell because we ran up to this level of resistance, right? You can make an argument for both. You could always make an argument for both sides of the market if you're looking at it. And if we zoom out, this would be a very tough trade. Or fill the gap. Yeah, I could see this being a decent area of support, to be honest. Let's see these news. RBA rate statement. That's going to be tonight. RBA, Euro, UK. Let me zoom back in on the 5-minute chart. This is a trade that I'd like to take. We broke through this. We came back and retested it, right? See, broke through, came back, retested it once. broke through, come back, retesting it again. And I think I just missed it. I think I just missed it by taking too long. We'll see. You can see how the bid and ask, right? Bid and ask from right now it's trading at 325, but the bid and ask is already up here at 45s. So the bid and ask is already up here, right? I'll keep an eye on this. Yeah, see, now it moved. Now an order got filled. Yeah, let's see what happens on this. Let me zoom in on the one. Now, this is very zoomed in. You could see the price action a little bit better, right? Where we had these pivots, and we just came back down and tested this. And so the idea trade, what I would look for is maybe consolidation, and then a breakout to come back up and retest and even go through and have follow through. So I'd like to see this market continue to rally. And then even tonight, if we're looking at what the Nikkei has done tonight, you could see it, right? We're only up, well, we're up 0.6. This is the move I was looking for, where I had a long. I was long from what, 65? I was long from 65 basically through this entire, all night, man. I was long this all night, and then finally today we broke out. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for the market to move overnight. We did not get it. Tonight we are getting this move. We are right back up to 350. We'll see. We'll see. The Nikkei looks super thin. I'm surprised you trade it as much as you do. It is thin. The Nikkei is thin, right? I mean, it's as thin as, well, you can see it's the order books. See, it's 9s, 10s, 5s. It still has a tight spread where it's like 1 or 2 ticks. There's just not as much volume as what everybody here is used to trading. Everyone's used to trading like the NASDAQ, right? Look, that's thin. You could argue that NASDAQ right now is thinner than the Nikkei. Look, 4s, 1, 2, 2, 6, 4, 3, 3. We go over to the Nikkei, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5. Maybe there's an argument to be made that NASDAQ is just, yeah, okay. I could see, I got to watch what I say here, but there's an argument for that. You know, Nikkei is the Japanese market, the Asian session, you know, they're open right now, and typically you can see some volatility, more volatility, and yeah. If we all put some orders in, we could move this market. Yeah, that was the trade. That was the trade. Buy right there at those 325s, 330. And I think I just spent too much time paralysis by overanalysis. That's part of the problem of trading in the middle of a show, right? Trying to run a show and trading. Overanalysis, paralysis by overanalysis, because now look where the bid and ask is. Yeah, see, there we are. That was what? From 330. That was like $200-300. See if this market could have the continuation to the long side. That was the trade. Now it's over. Move on to the next. Unless we, for some reason, find more consolidation. Definitely not going to be in for a trade overnight again for the Nikkei and holding it. This NASDAQ is probably more tempting to buy and hold for a little bit longer, because we did break out. We did break out of that. Analysis paralysis. Do you trade currency futures? I always wondered why no one talks about it for the Asian session. That's the Japanese yen, right? 6J is the Japanese yen. Coach J does. Coach J talks about it whenever I have him join. I think he talks about it during At the Buzzer. Currency futures is definitely available here at Topstep. Yeah, Japanese yen. I do not trade it. It's been a very long time since I traded any currency or Forex or any of that. You can see it's pretty thick of a book, right? I mean, it's available here. Traders trade currency futures here and all the time. There's nothing against it. It's just been so long since I traded it. It's been a very long time since I traded it. How's that? Crude oil looking pretty good. That crude oil trade's looking good. Really wish this was in the fresh account that we could go through and keep data on, but we'll have more trades. We'll have more trades to get data built on crude oil. I think that's about it. I'm not seeing anything else too crazy tonight. Why are markets dead? Well, because it's been a holiday. It is slow markets, so this is normal for slow markets. And yeah, that's basically it. There's not a lot of crazy news that's been going on. You could take a look at the news, economic events. And tomorrow we're going to see some more volatility. Tomorrow it's a full day. Tomorrow it's New York sessions open. Everything's normal. We will get some more volatility. Maybe we get more volatility during the Asian session. Look, there's a lot of news out of Japan is going to be coming out. We have some Fed speakers, obviously, and so yeah, I think tomorrow night we will see a lot more volatility, especially in the Nikkei. Nikkei is this Japanese market, and so yeah, I could see some more volatility being in the Nikkei, which look at that. Look at that. See, these are the ones that are a little bit frustrating on my end when I see a really good setup and the setup plays out and I just happen to be a little bit too slow. Yeah, look, see that was the move right there. And then sometimes you see a green candlestick that looks like this. Right? Just straight up back into these 400s. It's not, yeah. We'll see. That one's a woulda, coulda, shoulda trade. Crude oil. Crude oil's looking good. We could watch that. This is going to be one. Remember, this is an overnight trade. This is a slow markets trade. This was a slow markets trade. In terms, I call it a slow markets trade, is because the setup was based on a higher time frame. It's an hourly chart, and this is one that I'm going to be holding overnight. This is a beautiful example of how I love to trade. It really is, because I tell traders this all the time. You don't have to trade during the New York session. You don't have to trade. You don't have to be monitoring your trade, right? You don't have to sit here in front of your computer monitor and monitor this 24/7 or the entire time. You can place a trade. You could turn your computer off. You go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning and see where we're at. Remember, 3 things could happen right now. 3 things. First thing, we go straight down, and you wake up and you make $870. The second option, you wake up, market goes up, you lose 430. Or the third, we are somewhere in between, and you wake up, you're still in this trade, and then you could make that decision. You could say, all right, we're still in this trade. I woke up, what should I do? Do I move my stop loss? Do I close it where we're at? Do I adjust something? Do I make a decision based off of what's happened overnight? So those are the only, I don't want to say only, right? Those are basically the 3 things that could happen. Hit your stop loss, hit your take profit. We're somewhere in between. And then you can manage that trade when you wake up. That's why I love this type of trading. It's a lot less emotional, right? It's more process over profits. You follow a process. It's a lot easier to follow the process. You have a lot more time to make these decisions. You have a lot more time to find these setups, to set it up, to make the decision. It's not really quick, and you could set it and forget it and be done, right? That's about it. Now, of course, you could fine tune it. This isn't perfect, right? The better trade, I think, would have been a 3-bar reversal. Maybe there's an argument to be made where we could have got in maybe around this level, right, where we broke through at 72.27, or even got in at 71.18. So little tiny fine adjustments, right? Very, very fine adjustments, which make a difference. I could make tons and tons of sports analogies of some of the best athletes in the world they care. These little tiny details matter, and it continues to magnify. Like these little details, getting in at, say right now we're in at what, 7.15. If we were able to get in at 7.18, that's 3 cents, but 3 cents over a period of a couple years, right? 3 cents over, a few years, a couple cents per trade makes a difference. That's commission and plus some, right? It's huge. It makes a huge difference. Well, of course, now this might not affect a lot of traders here because we're still trying to go through, get funded, take your first payout, find consistency. But once you get to that stage, then you could really start to fine tune it. And then even to the point to where, I seen this setup where it's like, when did I see this setup? Could I get this set up? Can I trade it better? Can I have a better risk reward? Is there a way to improve? Regardless of whether you're consistent, you're making money, you're always looking for ways to improve. One thing I love to do is to say the setup's on a 1 hour chart, zoom into a 5-minute chart. Was there a way to get a better entry, to do something on a 5-minute chart that would have allowed me to get in this trade sooner? And it's like, maybe, right? Could I adjust my stop loss? Can I be more accurate with my stop loss? Can I be more accurate with my entry somehow? Can I adjust? Can I fine tune? Is this the right place for my take profit? Right? Is this a decent? Can I get, is that a lot better? Is 70.16? Or should I have my take profit up here at, this next level of maybe support 7, so these are the questions that you always need to ask yourself, adjust, in terms of making fine detailed, adjustments. And then once you make that adjustment, practice it 1,000 times, practice it over a long period of time, and then you'll be able to get your statistics. And then after you've practiced it for a long period of time, you could analyze your statistics. You can make an educated decision based off statistics, not based off of how you feel your stop loss needs to be, right? Because you don't know whether 70.55 or 70.20 is going to have more profit or a better expected value or better expected return, over a longer period of time, unless you measure it, right? Armando, well, if you're in this trade long, I hope this one's a loser as well. This one is not. This one doesn't mean anything in terms of statistics because I'm going to reset this account and I want to start with fresh statistics for this slow markets class. And so, yeah, this one is absolutely meaningless, even though I would like this to go on the statistics for this slow markets account. This is a slow markets account. We're going to only trade it for slow markets. Let's go. Would I be able to look at the Dow? If I spent time looking at the market that everybody, like different markets that everyone wants me to look at, I would be here all night. So I focus on 4 markets during slow markets, and these are the 4 markets I trade and I watch consistently. And these are the 4 markets I have the confidence in talking about. It's the NASDAQ, it's crude oil, it's the Nikkei, and it is gold. So those are the 4 markets I will look at. I look at it every night. I look at it consistently, and they're the ones that I feel the confidence into talking about the most. I'm not a Dow trader, and I think it would be, not the best to talk about a market I don't trade, right? I have been looking at Bitcoin, right? I have been looking at Bitcoin. So I have been talking about Bitcoin relatively often. And as of lately, it's not as much just because it's the same freaking thing over and over again. It's the same thing. Every single time I look at Bitcoin, it's absolutely the same thing. Nothing's changed. Here's 100,000. It's been buy whenever we get below, sell whenever we get above, and I'm expecting Bitcoin to hang around $100,000 for quite a while. The only thing that would ever interest me is if Bitcoin starts to sell off, and if Bitcoin can get around, either depending on how the price action is when we get down there, if Bitcoin gets down into this zone and we get some type of reversal or consolidation, I might be a buyer. And then the next level is going to be, probably closer towards 78,000. So those are the two levels I would like to see Bitcoin get around in order for me to be interested in Bitcoin. But until then, I think we can just continue to chop around a big round psychological number of something like 100,000 for who knows how long. We've been there since what? November? We'll see. Maybe if this thing does go and break out, that's okay. Bitcoin's, I don't understand why people, maybe it's just me not understanding when it comes to trading Bitcoin, that Bitcoin could make you rich. I could make more percentage off of an options trade than you can on Bitcoin, to be honest. Everyone's like, if you bought Bitcoin at 5,000, you look at the percent return, right? If we look at that, it's great. It really is. Where is that? Oh, it's not going to measure it, huh? Let's see. Is this the right tool? 2,000%, right? 2,000%. I see options move huge, dramatic, and volatile. I see there's some stocks out there that's moved that. It's not this end-all be-all thing that you're going to get rich off of. I think the big move has made. Is it investment? Maybe. Maybe you could look at Bitcoin like gold. I don't know. I don't know enough about Bitcoin to give very solid opinions. I do know that I'm an options trader, and I could see an options move. I see an options move 1,000% relatively often and pretty consistent. So, yeah, everyone's talking about volatility in crypto. You need to understand options a lot more if you like what you see in crypto. What's gold doing? Someone's talking about gold. We're starting to rally, huh? Yeah, David Woodson. If anybody knows the options to that, options will never. I don't want to say it never, right? I don't want to say that, but if you can compare options in crypto, options, they're undefeated. It's just there's more media over crypto because a lot of people don't understand options as much as they do crypto in terms of publicity. It depends. Why? It depends. I don't do anything naked, in the markets. Only trade. Everything I do in options, they're usually covered. DL, who do I learn options from? I do credit most of my options education to Tom Sajnoff. Tom Sajnoff over there at Tasty Trade. I have to give him credit for a lot of my knowledge in options. What do I prefer? Fast or slow markets? Slow. I love this time of night. You do a lot of straddles? Why? I have not been snowboarding or skiing this year, which is kind of sad to think about it. What do I think has been the most contributing factor to my trading? I'll tell you what. I will tell you guys what has been the most contributing factor to my trading. I'm going to be doing this more often. I'm going to set targets up for likes in my slow markets class. If you guys, when you guys have good questions, I will answer some of the good questions if you guys could get to like targets. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. It's starting to be more emphasized. If we could get to 500 likes, I'll start answering more of these questions. Until then, I'm going to just keep looking for opportunities in the market. You guys want some? You have to give before you can take. Give before you get. I don't know what the internative traders are. Hey, I gotta, yeah, that's my currency. That's how I get. That's what I like. I don't sell anything. I just ask for likes. Now that's for my future. What am I turning into, everybody? See what being on YouTube has turned me into. We need to get to 150K subscribers so I could get Danielle on. We need to get to 150,000 subscribers so I could get Danielle on for slow markets. And then we could see if we could get any secrets out of her from what's going on behind the scenes. This is a toxic relationship. It can't be as toxic as the NASDAQ. Come on, this stuff's for free. It's for free. You guys get all this stuff for free. No charge. Answering questions. 0. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold back some of the best stuff until we get to those targets. That's gonna be part of it. I need to look at Nikkei. Yeah, that was a little scalp bounce. That was it. 380. $380 on this bounce. Man, it is dead. It is really dead. Where did we open up? Will the Nikkei turn negative is the question. Look at the 100 tick. We did get up to 400 and immediately rejected. Yeah, we're only at 300 likes. We're only at 300 likes. You guys want me to answer all these questions. Everyone wants to you guys want me to answer all the questions without giving it up. Yeah, Andrew, I keep getting a lot of good questions. We're 200 away. Look, I'm really wanting to get into a long on the Nikkei. I'm punishing the people who do like it. Well, that's part of it, I guess, right? Well, when you have a group class, it requires participation. Do you think we could rename Coach J to Dr. J? Yeah, that we tomorrow. Coach J is going to be with me tomorrow. And that's going to be a fun one. Coach J's it's always fun when Coach J's on. Always fun when Coach J is on. $4.15. let's see. I'm gonna get into one. No, this is not it. Let's go to here. Let's see if I can get into one here on the Nikkei. Right at 300. Let's try and get right at 300. Look, market's just running away from my order now. The bid was at 295. The bid was 295 right there. I don't want to chase it up. I might. Should I be okay with 305? Get filled at 305. Let me pull my bid. See if I can get 305. Yeah, I don't know why, everybody. Come on, this should be a very easy target for everybody in the chat. We have almost 1,300 viewers, and we can't even get to 500 likes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to put like that type of restriction. Do I hate it? No, I don't actually. I mean, giving this stuff for free, and then we can't even get a third of the people to like this video, so I could answer some of these good questions. I want to get this fill at 305. This is the thing about live accounts. Sometimes you get in line and you don't get filled exactly. All right, we're almost there. Maybe I just had to say it louder. Okay, we got it. 500 now. Dance monkey. All right, I gotta put on a hat and start dancing for everybody. Okay, let's get to some of these questions. See if I could get filled at 305. Which, man, the bid was at 295 a second ago. Let's see if we could get filled at 305. It's at the bid. We'll see. Dakota, do you do anything else besides trading? I don't know what you mean. Like my hobbies? Like boxing? I've been boxing every single day. Maybe I have to explain that. So here we go. Let me go try and get through some of these questions now. What do you think has been the most contributing factor to your trading and success? This is the best part. This is the best question. And in order for me to answer this question, we have to get to 1,000 likes now, and then I'll start answering the next question. 1,000 likes for the next question. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. Oh, man. This is the golden question, right, Bazzy? What do you think has been the most contributing factor to your trading success? I would think, and yeah, Jay, I was just joking about the 1,000 likes. I would think that the biggest contributing factor to my trading success has been this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I could look, it just did not fill me right here. I think this is a really tough question now that I'm thinking about it. Danielle 114 says luck. All right, I'm pulling this. It didn't give me that 300 or 305. I would think anybody shout out if the Nikkei sells off. I'm going to jump over to the NASDAQ real fast. That's a hard one. I'm sorry that I'm lost for words on what my biggest contributing factor is. I could easily say disciplined or process, or any of that, but I think you have to understand where the discipline comes from, where the process comes from, right? I would say the moment I started realizing it's not about what indicator you use. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about like anything very detailed or specific when it comes to how much you have, how big of a trade you have, who you're trading with. I would say out of everything it boils down to, and this is probably something you've seen, is probably the not giving up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is a hard one. This is a hard one because I could give so many answers, and it has to be true. This has to be true. I think I'm gonna boil it down to 3. I think being able to not give up, right? So not giving up, being resilient, right? Even though you see the statistics where, yeah, everyone knows the statistics. What are they? 3%? It depends on who you talk to. 1 to 3% of traders, right? So if we do that, like 1 to 3%. Oh my gosh, drawing on this is a mess. 3%. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to embarrass myself with that crap. The drawing on here. So yeah, I would say 1 to 3% of traders find great success, right? And what are the odds of you being successful? You could therefore say 1 to 3%. Well, if you do not give up, then what are the odds of you failing, right? You could narrow it down to like, if you don't give up consistently, then it's 0%. You could fail. You could be part of the 97% over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually, you probably will get to that, get to be that 1 to 3% if you fail enough times, right? If you try it 100 times, in theory, you should be able to find success 1 to 3%, right? 1 to 3 of those times. If you failed 100 times, maybe you have to fail 100, 200 times, eventually do it. As long as you're learning from your mistakes. So that's the first part. I would credit a lot of what I do to just being resilient. Nothing special. I'm not special. Let me tell you that. There's people that are a lot smarter than I am who don't have much success. There's traders that I meet that are struggling with doctorate degrees, multi-master's degrees, right? So much level of education, who are struggling. And I don't know. I'd say, yeah, you're much smarter than I am, but why are you struggling with trading? It doesn't have to do with education. It's more about resilience over education, because you could learn how to trade. You could learn anything, right? For the general part. So resilience, simplicity. I talk about this one a lot. Simplicity. So resilience, simplicity. There was a big aha moment for me was when I started to realize that you don't need all these indicators. You don't need all these fancy charts. Literally, what you guys see is what you get. If I show you my layout, this is all I look at. During fast markets, same thing. One browser, one chart. During fast markets, I split it up like this. So I have 2 charts. So fast markets, I have 2 charts. Like this, I have a 100 tick and a 5-minute. During slow markets, I just have 1 chart, and markets typically move slow enough. I could look at the hourly chart and things don't move a lot. 1 chart. I have 4 computer screens. I have 4 computer screens. You guys could see them. I have one right here, which has YouTube and the YouTube chat. And then I have one right here at the bottom, which is what you guys see. This is a complete monitor. This is all that there is, hiding nothing, right? You see some traders, some YouTubers where they hide half their screen or they crop some of it out and they overlay another one like this or like that, and then you don't see their account balance, you don't see what account they're trading, you don't see that, and it's sketchy as heck, man. And then later you just see screenshots and posts and all this when you don't see half of the stuff. This is what I trade off of. Like, there's no hiding anything. When I place a trade, you see it go through, you see the loss, it's transparency, it's reality. And you really only need this, right? It's simple, it's straightforward. Here, you know what? Let's see. I don't even, I'll show you what it even looks like on my personal account. Oh, come on. My passwords. Caps lock. Freaking caps lock, man. Yeah, so I opened this one up to start my year, and it's just as simple. It's just as simple. We'll go to day trading. Yeah, same thing right here. Simple, straightforward. This is the one that I posted the broker statement on, and that's how I trade it. Look, 5-minute chart on the left, and I couldn't get a 100 tick chart, so a 30-second is relatively close to the 100 tick chart. It's the same thing, right? Same thing. Doesn't matter whether it's this or not. Here's how I view my options. These are futures options. If you guys didn't know it, I very rarely trade futures options. Usually it's like the Qs or any of that. But simple, right? Simple. I don't need multiple monitors. I don't need like 50 charts looking at all this. And, you know, unfortunately, Interactive Brokers, it's $20,000 per mini for their margin. So if I place a trade, it's $20,000 worth of margin. And I usually trade 10 minis at a time on this account. This one's micros because sometimes I'll scale in and I'll build a core position and then I'll trade minis around it or something. Yeah, so that's about it. So keeping it simple is a big part of my trading, and that was probably one of the biggest aha moments that I've had. And it's the same thing. What I like, though, to be honest, what I like is I like Topstep X a lot better. It's simpler. I have a full book, right? I have a full book in terms of the depth of market. I could see, you know, a deeper depth of market, and I have these nice buttons, and it's a lot more simple. What I like the most about Topstep X, though, to be honest, is going to be these risk settings. This is something I wish more prop firms or more brokers, heck with the prop firms. I just wish, you know, platforms and brokers in general cared more about the risk management settings, to be honest. I love this. This is second to none. Yeah. So I wish that broker had this. I wish I could just connect Topstep X to my broker and I could trade my account with him. So I could have this because I got used to this. This is nice. These buttons, quick, easy. You could adjust everything, and the simpler you can make your trading, the less you have to go through it, right? Well, I mean, it's not as easy to adjust, right? You can't just click on settings, risk settings, and just boom, adjust this. A lockout feature, all of this. Ali, do you have another income source besides trading? Of course I do. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it's very important for people to strive, right? And it doesn't matter where you're at on your journey, but I think it's important for people to strive to have more than one source of income. The shaving routine? Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. Look, I'm struggling with my current strategy and time frame. Let me read this. Dakota, I'm struggling with my current strategy. Oh, man, chat is moving too fast. Where did it go? Dang it. Trying multiple time frames, strategies. Really want to keep it simple, but so many different strategies. 405 rips. Yeah, it's hard, right? It's hard because we're always doing that. Everyone's going through it. You're going through so many different indicators. You're going through so many different strategies. And I think we're getting a trade here on the NASDAQ. Oh, man, I just missed it. Oh, wow, that happened too fast. You guys seen that, right? Did you guys see that? As soon as I placed my order, it jumped up like 8 points. That wasn't just me, right? You guys seen that? I clicked buy bid, and then it just jumped up. Well, yeah, I thought it just knew. I don't know what the heck that was. Wow, I guess I should have just jumped in at market. Sim would have got filled. God, I know I'd freak. I don't know what happened there. As soon as I placed that, did somebody follow me? Was someone like listening to my stream and push this market? Wow. Wow. Clip that one. Wow. Okay, I'm watching that one on replay. What? Wow, let's see. I got to see that again. I got to see that one again. Where were we at? We got to change the quality. Let's go. I need to see that one again. Heck, is that too loud? Oh, man, I just missed it. Oh, wow, that insane. Wow, that doesn't happen very often. Indicators. You're going through so many different stream delayed, so no. And I think we're getting a trade. It was right when I placed the buy, right? Oh, instantly. Man, I just missed it. Oh, wow, that happened too fast. Sometimes you're just you guys seen that, right? Did you guys see that? As soon as I placed my order, it jumped up like 8 points. Yeah, then look at the Nikkei too. That wasn't just me, right? You guys seen that? I clicked buy bid, too picky? And then it just jumped. Am I being picky? I think I might be too picky on here. I was trying to get in at 305, 310, and that just jumped. No big statement in these markets. Something's going. It's just that kind of a night. It's that kind of a night for me. I tried to get in at 300. Try to get in at 305. That would have been one heck of a trade, right? Zero. Would have been able to take zero drawdown on that, baby. Where get in 305, 310, instant, you know, $200-$300 on that. Same with this NASDAQ. Same with this NASDAQ move. Man, we're already pushing these 250s. Someone's saying gold's moving. Gold's moving too. There goes gold. Yeah, there goes gold. What's going on? We have the CL trade. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one on. This is the count I'm resetting anyway. What you use to record the show? I don't know what you mean. It's on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. So I just pull up YouTube, right? Whenever I want to see it, right? I pull up YouTube and I could go back and run a play-by-play. Did we attack someone? I don't think so. This isn't a move that would signal anything like anything global like that. You'd see a bigger spike, right? You'd typically see a bigger spike. It'd be like a 1% move. True. Did getting a series 3 make me a better trader? No. Nope. Series 3, Series 30 does not make you a better trader. Nope, it does not. But I did learn a lot, and it was very educational. Here's a good one. Traptor X. How would you answer the question, what is your process? How would I answer the question, what is my process? Are you the one that trolls? Let me see. I gotta see this. No, you're not. You're not. That was an honest question. Trust me, I get a lot of spam questions. Yeah, let's do it. Next 15 minutes, I'll look at this. Get these spammers out of the chat. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Chat's moving fast enough. No, you don't troll. You don't troll. Sometimes I get confused. Let me answer this question. I'm going to spend the rest of the class answering this question. I can't get too far in depth because we don't have enough time. I could only probably summarize maybe some of it, Traptor. But yeah, I get the question a lot from trolls where they ask me like, oh, you can't even answer the question of what your process is, or Dakota doesn't have a process. He just gambles and all that yada BS type stuff. But yeah, so my process, you guys could probably understand it if you tune into slow markets a lot more. Huh? Let me make sure. How dare you accuse me after all the likes I've given you? I'm answering your question, dude. I'm answering your question. So here is the closest way I can answer this question. You're locked in? Are you ready? It's a calculated gamble. I probably would need a lot more than just, like I said, it will definitely be longer than an hour, but okay, chill out, chat. Chill out, chat. I know, yeah, I know the chat gets a little crazy on this, but yeah, clip this. I need to make like a library of video clips that I could just copy paste whenever I get some questions. But here's my process. Okay, here's a very basic summary. If you watch slow markets, for a long enough time, you probably already know my process. Maybe it's hard to explain when I'm on fast markets, right? Fast markets is different. Fast markets, it's going very fast. You have a whole lot of traders. You have more people than just me on stream, right? You have Andre, you have Hoag, you have Coach Jay, Nick Vertick, whoever's on with me. You have a whole lot of things going on. It's not just me trading. You have segments. You have like the big board. You have news. You have everything else. So I can't just sit there on fast markets and explain my process. But if you watch it enough, and if you watch it long enough, and it is all recorded on YouTube, you kind of have an idea of my process. I try and simplify it because you do have to understand that I try and simplify it so much that if you are new to trading, you might be able to comprehend some of it, because you have to realize it's not just veteran traders here. We have a lot of new traders. We have a lot of brand new traders who are just learning. We have traders who are watching futures for the first time. We have traders who are learning what a candlestick chart is for the first time. We have traders who are talking about what is a bid, what is an ask, right? So whenever I'm talking, it's to simplify it enough so that traders can understand it on all levels. And for me to go in depth about my process, it's going to take a lot of time. And so I think slow markets, I've been able to explain it a lot more in depth, right? It's going to take a lot more time. It's probably going to be expanded over a week. I think a few months ago, I tried to go in depth. So that's part of tuning in each night. I do go in depth and give little pieces of it every once in a while. I spent a whole week one time going in depth, and I still didn't cover a lot of it. And I talk about it in my VIP sometimes. I talk about it in the Topstep Discord lately. I like to do analogies, and it's very similar to, I guess, if you want to say a sports team, right? If you want to do an NFL sports team, and you ask an NFL sports team, say, who just won the Super Bowl? The Eagles, okay? Let's just compare this to a sports team. You walk up to the head coach of the Eagles, and you say, what's your strategy? Well, I could guarantee you the head coach is going to say, win, right? Find a way to win. It's like, well, you don't have one play that you just run all the time? What do they call it? The tush push, right? For the win on 1 yard? No. Heck no, right? You don't have just one play every single time. It's going to be, it depends, right? It depends. What's the other team doing? What's the market doing? What's the market conditions? Is it a holiday? Is there news? Is it slow markets? Is it fast markets? Is what time of day? Is this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Is there FOMC coming out this week? Is this, spring? Is it summer trading? Is the market very volatile? Is it not very volatile? What market am I trading? And there's a lot of, variables when it comes to that. But in general, due to the lack of time, in general, it's basic price action, right? Basic price action that you would see me trade. Now, this is for day trading. This has nothing to do with my stocks and options, because I trade options, obviously, and I trade stocks, covered calls, cash secured puts, and it might be a little bit different. However, usually it's the same in terms of price act or technical analysis. The time frame's different, obviously. I'm not going to be looking at a 5-minute chart when I'm making a decision to hold an option for 3 months. I'm definitely not going to be looking at a 100 tick chart when I'm going to be making an options decision for 3 months. It needs to be a longer period of time. I might be looking at either a daily when I'm going to be holding an option for 3 months. I might even look at a weekly chart if I'm going to be holding an options position for 3 months. But when I'm day trading, I'm not going to be looking at these time frames. I'm going to be zoomed in, just how I talk about during slow markets. I start on the daily, then I'll zoom into an hourly chart, and then I'll zoom into a 5-minute chart. And then if I'm, scalping during the New York session, or, being in and out of positions a lot quicker compared to what you've seen me just trade on CL, maybe kind of what you just seen me do here in the NASDAQ, right? You've seen me do this on the NASDAQ. Very basic, very simple technical analysis. This is a valid trade. I talked about it when we first started. We started to break out of this. I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. We broke out. You guys see me talk about this all the time. It doesn't look the same every single time. And then we kind of consolidated here. And you've seen me place that bid to buy. And I'm simply looking for a nice little bounce and a breakthrough in a rally. Maybe even a continue up to the next level of resistance. Next level of resistance that I'm seeing is going to be right here around these mid to upper 50s. So nice little scalp. Get in at 42, catch 10, 15 points in a low volatile market, something like that. Maybe even consider, having my stop loss below that level of support, right? Having my stop loss just under this consolidation. and then looking for continuation, maybe up to these 250s. This is one example, right? This is one example of a simple technical analysis type trade that I do. Another one, right? Another one, you've seen it tonight too. You've seen it in the Nikkei. Guess what? This market's bullish, right? We had a pullback. You've seen me trying to get into this, right? I tried to get in on this pullback. Why was I getting on this pullback? Because this is a support zone. This is a support zone. Now, it's zones. These are not exact levels. I was looking to get in at 300, 305, 310, and it just went without me. I'm still looking for this market to continue. And then last night, I was trading the Nikkei. You've seen what I was looking at last night. I talked about the 100 tick chart. I zoomed out. It was more of an overnight trade. And where were we last night? We were like right here, right? That's where we were last night. I talked about it. I was talking through some very basic technical analysis. I was looking at this level being support, and I got into a long at 165. And then I posted on Twitter or social media, and I was like, hey, I built my position. I'm long 5 contracts at 165. I'm looking for a move and a break higher. I'm looking for continuation up, right? I'm looking and seeing this as a higher low after we've made a higher low, after we made the low, right? So I'm looking for that type to play out. Guess what? It played out. Unfortunately, it didn't play out within my time frame. I held this all night long, and it didn't really move anywhere. And then we finally got that move. So yeah, if this was maybe in my personal account, then I could have possibly been able to swing this trade for a little bit longer. Because yes, I do believe that we could have a decent possibility of coming back up and testing these 500s, these mid 500s to 600s, with a very smaller possibility, if we look at a higher time frame, to come back up and test 40,000, maybe come up and test these higher time frames, right? So using the smaller time frames to get in, and using these higher time frames to actually build and understand that trade. Now, no way am I going to day trade and expect the market to move all the way up to 40,000 in one day. That doesn't happen, or that should be an unrealistic expectation. It does happen, right? You see huge moves, but that's an unrealistic expectation. But the very basics of technical analysis still hold true, right? And I was even talking about it. I talk about it every single night, it seems like, where, guess what? Here are these lows, here are these lows, here are these lows. And then for the past week, I was talking about this. These are lows in the Nikkei. Is it a possibility that we come back up and test 40,000? I talked about that for a while. I talked about it. And then sure enough, we are seeing a little bit of that move. And can we see continuation? Sure. I'd love to see that continuation. And while I'm seeing this, I zoom into these smaller time frames and I try and place a trade in the direction, so I could, getting in on these smaller time frames, holding trades longer. Top step, we have to be out before the New York session closed, so we have a little bit of a limitation when it comes to that. But as you can imagine, it's the same process in terms of risk management and technical analysis, right? Every little detail is going to be different, just like the sports teams. Tying it back to the NFL, right? Tying it back to the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, is you ask them, what's your process? Like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to play it? Well, we're going to have a basically idea of how we play. Like, you know for a fact when we're down on the 1 yard line, everybody knows we're going to do the quote, QB sneak, tush push, whatever they call it, because they convert, and the odds of them, it's pretty high that they're going to make that 1 yard. And everybody knows that when when their team is in this situation, this is what they like to do. Maybe they like to run the ball. And this is, like, in general sense, the type of team that they are. And so, for me, I could say in the general sense, I could boil it down to basic technical analysis followed by how I like to manage risk. And I could give you so many examples. I talk about the 3-bar reversal because that's a big part of it. Right? 3-bar reversal is a big part of it. And, where's that 3-bar reversal comes from? It's an example. Rewatch fast markets today. Fast markets during the New York session. Beautiful trade, right? Beautiful trade. Let me switch to my live account and we can show you. I talk about it all the time. So charts and execution. Simple, straightforward, right? Here it is. 3-bar reversal. We sold off. I was talking about this. Here we go. We were down here, level of support. We came down, and sure enough, you've seen how I got in. Beautiful 3-bar reversal right here. We have a trend. We were selling off. We came down to a level of support. We got this nice 3-bar reversal, and I built into this position. If we zoom into a 100 tick chart, you could see how I built into this position. We got that beautiful, nice little reversal. The 3-bar reversal was not technically until I think like 10 up here. And I got into 1. We get a nice pullback. And then we rejected again. And I got into some more. And then I got into my final 2 as we broke through, right? Final 2 as we broke through this little pivot. And my 2 entry trades was right there, right at 210.50, right there. As we started to break through that pivot, I got into my last 2. You guys seen where I put my stop loss, and I got out on the way up, and that's how I made basically the extra 2,000 on that. So same, very basic, very simple technical analysis, not just on one time frame, on multiple time frames, right? We have some support. We got that 3-bar reversal at a level of support, and it worked out. Now, you tell me, oh, do you just take every 3-bar reversal? Nope. Today was also another good example of I'm not going to take every single 3-bar reversal, right? It's like, well, isn't that your process? Well, yeah, you have to understand the game, right? You're not going to throw the ball if it's 4th down and you're on your end, like on the other side. You don't go for it on 4th and 10, but you might go for it on 4th and 1. Right? You have to understand what's going on. So beautiful 3-bar reversal here during the New York session. Worked out well. And the questions I got, why didn't you take this 3-bar reversal? Well, yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. That's a beautiful 3-bar reversal because guess what? This is an area that was support, right? Support. And then support can typically become resistance. Well, we got a beautiful 3-bar reversal at an area of resistance. Well, guess what? It was a holiday. I was done. We were going into closer, like it was basically over, right? And there's no way, especially during low volatile, right? It was a holiday, very low volatile times, and I was basically done. I'm not going to try and squeeze out any more points when the entire day's range at that moment was 50 points. And I just squeezed out over 20 points to the long side, and then I'm going to be hopping in here. No, I locked myself out. I'm done for the day. We're going to be going into lunch on a holiday, and very, very low volatility. I just explained like the volatility in terms of viewing the ATR, right? The ATR, where is it at? Extremely low, right? Look all the way down here to 12 compared to a normal New York session when it was double that, some days triple that. And so, yeah, being done for the day, there's a reason, right? It's like, wow, you do not take every single trade you see if the situation doesn't allow for it. Now, yeah, if it follows my process, sure, I'm going to take it. But there's some exceptions. Like every rule, there's an exception. If you understand all of that. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'll go for it on, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot, right? And now remember, that was just 15 minutes, and I could probably continue on and talk for hours and hours about these little nuances and these little details, but it's not just one simple process that I could write down and be like, yeah, this is exactly how you need to trade. It's very long, and it's very personal to me because nobody will trade like I do because I am unique, just like everybody in here is unique. And everybody in here, if I tell them to trade a 3-bar reversal, everybody in the chat will trade it differently. Everybody in the chat will get in at a different location, and they'll get out at a different location. They'll manage it differently. They'll change the size differently, and they'll react emotionally during different situations. I know a lot of traders probably took this. I can almost guarantee you it. During the New York session, I guarantee you there's a lot of traders who got short right here, and they got smashed, Guarantee it. That's not even a question. It's almost one of the guarantees I see is there's probably a ton of traders who got short here today and got smacked. Because that is a beautiful setup. On a normal day, that's a beautiful setup. I would take this if it was not a holiday. I would be the guy that got smacked if this happened. There's Nightbot with the Topstep risk disclosure. Nightbot in the chat. I don't know how Nightbot works, but when leave range. Zoro, hopefully these people get it. You trade like a professional. It's up to their opinion, right? Social media is a unique place. Look, here we are testing this area. Simple, right? Simple with hindsight. Not so simple without it. It's very, very simple. Sometimes you just wish the market would give you the price. Man, nice little 10, 15 points right there. I'm sure Nikkei is going to disappoint me too, right? Nah. Any more questions? Now, I know that, you know what? No, we're done. We're done. I'm done. We're done for the night. It is the end of the session. Did that make sense to everybody? Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. If not, you can rewatch this. And I will be on Topstep TV tomorrow morning. Topstep TV tomorrow morning. Do not miss it. It is Tuesday. Coach Jay is going to be joining me for Wednesday. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, time to relax. Time to get some dinner, relax. And remember, trading's optional. Trading's optional. Stay away from the markets if you do not have to. You don't have to be stuck in front of your computer screen. Trust me. Yeah, thank you. Take care, everybody. See ya. Bye.